What are the two golden rules of solopreneurship, solopreneur product strategy, and how can you utilize them to use advanced techniques like price sandwiching, micro calibration, and really giving the prospect a very, very good idea of what they're going into, winning the trust of the prospect, and making lots of profits in the bargain. Let's get started. My name is Dr. Rajat and I'm a medical doctor turned sales strategist. And when I started actually in my entrepreneurship journey or solopreneurship journey, I actually started reselling products as a distributor. You may be selling products which could be financial products, LIC distributorship, or health products or something like that. But one of the biggest constraints I felt was that since I did not control the product, it was just exactly the same product, and there was a lot of banner blindness in the market where prospects would just see me talking in the first 3 to 5 minutes. They'll come to know what the product is and they'd say no because they had some previous idea in their mind. Much later, I went to Grant Cardone University and I learned the secrets of solopreneurship, which said you need to control products, and if you don't control the big product that you're selling, you may be selling a custom service which could be a software based thing. You may be selling consulting, you may be selling health products, financial products, but it's very, very important to create a layer of your own products in the front end so that you control the product line. Once you control the product line, your product strategy is so strong that sales becomes easy. Otherwise, there is no point learning any kind of sales and all, because the product strategy is weak, your sales are going to fail, and you're going to end up thinking, hey man, there is something wrong with me, or I can't do it, or I am less than, or something like that. Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to talk about the two main big strategies of solopreneurship. The first strategy is that you need to control the product line. Okay, you need to control the product line, and if you are selling a big company's product like a health product, financial product, or something, you need to have layers of your own information products that you can set up today with a simple MSME license. You can start charging money for your consultations. Okay. Second thing is people actually buy on comparison. That means people buy when value provided by a product exceeds the losses that they would otherwise make if they didn't have your product. Okay. And this is important even if you're selling non-monetary products. So if you're selling a make money product, passive income, active income, it's easy to quantify. But what if you're selling a health product? You need to tie it down to a monetary value of what they would lose if they did not have that particular health product or they did not have the health. Similarly with life coaching or something like that, people always have in their mind, they always have a monetary equivalent which needs to be uncovered, and I'll give you examples of those in this video. All right. So let's go. Today's topic is an advanced technique which is called price micro calibration. And I'm going to be talking to you about how you can utilize it while selling even life coaching or something like that, or health products or financial products. Now, especially if you're into health products or life coaching products, the value or the pain of the customer is not really quantified. What are they losing? Okay. And there is a very simple way for health products to quantify it. Let's say somebody has a problem of cholesterol. People say I have cholesterol. So what exactly is the problem with cholesterol? Oh, no, I want to get healthy. So this needs to be quantified. How much money are you losing over it? Are you doing blood tests every 6 months? Great. And once you find out you have high cholesterol, what do? Oh, I visit a doctor. Great. How much does the doctor charge for advice? How much does the doctor charge for medicines? And what is the total value of the loss that you're making? Is it painful enough? Now, I'll just be very, very clear. In India, a lot of lifestyle diseases are actually status symbols. That means people are actually happy about going to the doctor, parking their Mercedes outside, visiting the doctor, paying them $800 consultation every time, getting a bunch of blood tests, and then they get talking points in their drawing room conversations with their other high cholesterol friends. Same with diabetes and blood sugar. It is actually a high status disease if you see. So it's not really a problem. So if people come to you with a problem, it has to be quantified into how much are you really losing. And the cash value could be value of the payments that you're making to the doctor over the last 1 year, the total medicine that you bought over the last 1 year. And it could, if it is not good enough, then you need to talk to them about the time that they're actually spending, especially if they're a businessman or something, and they're spending 1 hour every 2 weeks going to the doctor, sitting in the waiting room or something like that. Then the value of that 1 hour needs to be added to the notional cost of their disease. If they're unable to travel for business because of their particular diabetes or something, that needs to be added. Potential business losses. All of this needs to be added to the notional cost of the disease till you come with a big enough number so that you can price compare whatever product you have against that. Same with life coaching. People feel bad or less than, and that's why they're looking at life coaching. In my particular business selling health products, I realized a lot of people felt less than. There were certain families where the mothers were actually going in their chauffeur-driven Mercedes to pick up the child from the school, very high status people and all of that. And some people felt less than because they were overweight, and they felt that, hey man, my kids are not proud of me, or my kids are ashamed of me because everybody else's mother is fit, and things like that. So whatever is the emotional problem over here has a monetizable value. What is the monetizable value in case you feel less than? People are going to spend money elsewhere to feel equivalent. So they're going to buy more designer clothes, they're going to buy more expensive cars, they're going to look, in order to make themselves feel worthy, they're going to actually be spending money in other areas of their life in order to make them feel worthy. That has to be uncovered in a sales call, especially if you're doing life coaching or something like that. Okay, so there is always a cash value to the problems that people have, because money in the economy today is spent in order to bring ourselves up to feel worthy. Okay, and we call it class. There are 5 different driving motivators, which are survival, replication, convenience, comfort, conformity, and class. Okay, conformity and class, which basically means I want to feel like I'm part of a group, or class, I want to feel like I'm good enough with other people in the society, etc. are very, very big driving factors. So you need to understand what is the monetary value of people who are trying to feel worthy or be a part of a group if they internally feel unworthy. Okay, that's where your life coaching, etc. is going to come in. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to first figure out the cash value of whatever problem that you're going to solve, and then while you're talking to the particular person, your prospect, you're going to start price sandwiching. You're going to give them a cash value of the problem, and you're going to give them a very cheap solution. Okay, then you're going to come down one level, okay, to what the actual cash value of the problem or what the cash value of the solution could be. And over here, the prospect is going to say, I don't want something for free, tell me something better. You're going to increase the price over here. Okay, and then they're going to say, okay, this is too high, I want something in this range. You're going to drop this over here, and over here this thing comes in, and these are where your products are going to be, where 2 to 3 layers of your products, you're going to figure out if they're going to buy in the 10,000 rupee range, if they're going to buy in the 50,000 rupee range, if they're going to buy in the 2-3 lakh rupee range. Those are the product ranges for a solopreneur that can work very well, which are your own information products. I have not come to the products that you may be representing at the back end. Like in my case, I learned all of this sales by actually presenting a very high ticket health product, which is 3 lakh rupees in value. And a lot of people actually bought it just for the lifestyle. I mean, they probably may not have had the health problem as such, but they bought it just for the lifestyle because it was something that made them feel good or made them feel worthy, especially if they were earlier feeling unworthy for whatever reason. Okay, and then I realized, okay, the way to price products is to appeal to the survival, replication, comfort, conformity, and class aspects. And then I realized a lot of things about high ticket selling at that point. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a grid over here, and you can see over here at the top there is something written in yellow, which is a notional product. At the bottom there is something written in yellow, that's a notional product. Then one level below over here in the sandwich, we've got a green thing, which is publicly available product. Right below over here we've got a second cheaper product, which is green, and it is publicly available product. And then right in the middle you got your own products, which is where you're going to have the pincer movement to actually close the deal. Okay, now again, I'm not saying this with a view of saying that you should take advantage of your prospects or something like that, but people buy on comparison, and the highest value that you can provide in a sales call, the real service that you actually provide in a sales call, is helping them understand what is the value of their problem and at what level do they want to solve the problem. And trust me, if they don't have the budget, or if they don't have the willingness, or if the problem is the pain is not painful enough, they are anyway not going to buy. So you don't need to feel guilty about it. In fact, you need to make sure that you do a great job on this, because if you're not doing a great job on this, you're wasting the client's time. Okay, they don't walk away with any more clarity than they came in, and they're going to actually dislike you and disrespect you because you tried to sell your product without any context. Okay, so very, very important to create this context and price test. And these are some advanced techniques. So if you're already closing some deals and all, you will gain a lot from this particular technique. Okay, and I have been able to close deals worth 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh rupees just on the internet with people I've never met before, and people who have no way of meeting me in the physical form, and money flows like crazy, simply because I'm able to provide the context for a client's problem. And definitely I lose a lot of sales, because once they understand this particular context, they realize, hey man, my pain is actually not painful enough that I want to solve it. and then they are free of that. So then now they're not going to waste their time looking for solutions for a pain that is not painful enough. And they thank me for it. They say, man, thanks, I sat with you, you spent 30 minutes with me, and you made it clear to me that my pain is not painful enough, so this is not for me, any next action is not for me. In fact, I need to forget all about this and literally go back to enjoying my life without creating unnecessary problems for myself. Okay, so while my ads are going ahead and hooking people and creating and probably uncovering problems that they didn't know they have, in the sales call I'm actually going to provide the actual value of helping them truly understand on a calibration level what is it that they are willing to spend on it. Is it worth it, or yes or no? And even if people walk away, even if if I feel that this problem is not painful enough, then I'm going to make them aware of that, simply because even if I had charged the money and they had paid the money and the problem is not painful enough, later they're going to resent that. And you don't want resentful clients, because with resentful clients you will have refund claims and you will have bad rep in the marketplace, because your reputation is going to go bad very soon. Okay, so charging good money can be a very good service, and people, even when they pay good amount of money, they're going to give you lots of references, and your PR in the market is going to improve, because you're able to help people clear the picture in their mind. The biggest problem in life today is people don't have clarity in their mind. They're being blasted by all kinds of social media. They're constantly hooked onto these cell phones. There is no time to give to themselves. Okay, and the highest value you can provide in a sales call is literally just focus on that one problem and give them all the possible information they can in order to make a decision, yes or no, what price point to make a decision, whatever is the best for them. You will be surprised. Sometimes you may be pitching something worth 50,000 and the client is going to come back and say, I don't want to spend 50,000, I want to spend 2 lakhs. Okay, that's going to be real fun. Okay, then you'll realize what is the value of this particular sales call. Okay, so let's go over here to the grid. Now, when I start talking to a client, if you have read the Mad Money script, in the first half of the Mad Money script, if it's let's say a 30-minute call, in the first 15 minutes, it's all about what, when, how. I'm just understanding the problem. Okay. Right at the middle point of the Mad Money script, I go ahead, I edify the client, I tell them, man, you're on the right journey. Thank you for coming to me, because truly, if you're taking steps to solve this problem, then I respect you, because so many people have problems, they never take steps to solve them. Okay, so I'm going to edify them. Then we're going to start quantifying the problem. What is the quantification? I'm going to tell them, man, your cash value of your diabetes problem is roughly about 40 lakhs. Okay, and they're going to they're going to be like, how the hell is it 40 lakhs? Well, you're spending about 40,000 rupees or 60,000 rupees a year to solve the problem. So that's hard cash. Then you got a little bit of notional value, because you go to this Dr. Saab every 2 weeks and all of that. So waste of your time. You're a business person, so you make 10 lakh rupees a month. So every hour of yours is worth probably 5,000 rupees or something like that, 10,000 rupees. So every hour of yours is worth 10,000 rupees. So you calculate about 12 of these. So that's 1.2 lakhs. Now you're looking at roughly about 2 lakh rupees a year is the total value of your problem. Plus later on, if you do a surgery or something, if your eyes go bad, if your kidney goes bad, then we're talking about 50 lakhs. Okay, whatever it is, I'm just going to outrageously increase the value of the problem. Okay, and they may laugh at me. They may say, no, dude, come on. Yeah, you seem to be a crazy guy or something like that. But I'm going to just mention the thing in order to hook the brain. The potential value of your problem is 30 lakhs. They may laugh at me. We can have a laugh about it together. Okay, that's totally cool. I've just anchored a 30 lakh price point. And then what I'm going to say is that, why don't you join a laughter club near your house? Why don't you join a laughter club near your house, or go look for this particular book that is on Amazon, which can help solve the problem. In my particular case, people come to me for sales problems, so I always hook them with my own, where's my book? I always hook them with my book. I say, yeah, man, have you read my book? They say, no. Why don't you just grab my book? It's going to solve your problem. It's not that I'm going to give them the link right there, because at that point, I'm not sitting one-on-one to sell my book, okay? So I'm going to say, hey, man, I've got a book on Amazon. Just read it, man. It's going to solve your problem. And they're going to say, oh, can I have the link for it? I'll say, just search for my name in Amazon, man. It's okay. Okay, now I've given them a simple and easy solution without giving them a next step. Now they don't want to solve a 30 lakh rupee problem with a 200 rupee solution. I'll say, why don't you join a laughter club, go to your nearby jogging park, and if you just join a good seniors laughter club, go out every morning, have a nice walk, have some nice laughter, it's going to solve your diabetes problem right then and there, man. You don't need diet, you don't need exercise. Just join a good group and it's going to just take away the stress in your life, and diabetes is going to come down automatically. Which is actually the God honest truth. It will. But the point is, now that I've told them it's a 30 lakh rupee problem, they don't want a 200 rupee solution, or they don't want a free solution. Now the cash value of this problem is also notional, and the solution I gave them is also notional. Not that it doesn't work, it works. But I know while proposing it that they are not going to take it. Because they didn't come here, they didn't watch my ad and come here all the way to my sales call to invest half an hour of their time to get a 200 rupee solution. Nobody does that. Okay, people want serious solutions. When I say serious, they want higher price solution, which makes it feel for them that it's more serious. Otherwise, most solutions for health problems, financial problems, and life problems or relationship problems are actually free. The best things in life are actually free. Okay. So anyway, so I'll say, hey man, why don't you do some YouTubing around it? You're going to get the solution for free. All right. And they're going to say, okay, that's fine. We're just discussing now. Okay. And then they say, no, I don't want that. Tell me something. What is the best thing? Then I'm going to say that, let's say my highest level product is in the 5 lakh rupee range. I'll say, why don't you go to the internet, and there is a lot of these 5 lakh rupee communities where you can just spend 5 lakhs, be a part of a good community. The whole thing is around health, and you're going to solve the problem, man. You're going to solve the problem. So what I've done is I've anchored a lower price point. Instead of 30 lakhs, now it's 5 lakhs. I say just spend 5 lakhs. You're done with the problem for life. Right now, it's not a question of whether the problem is worth 30 lakhs or not. The point is, with 5 lakhs, you can get mental freedom. Looking at you for 5 lakhs, if you get mental freedom from this problem, it's probably worth it. Okay, so I've anchored another price point. They're going to say, no, that's not my price range. I'm not looking at it. So what price range are you looking at? They say, oh, I don't know, maybe 5, 10,000, 20,000, whatever. Okay, now they're going to throw out a number. Let's say they say 20,000. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, if you're doing 20,000, why don't you go and just go onto the internet. I think there's a lot of courses and stuff that you can take for roughly about 5,000 rupees. Okay, a lot of courses that you can take for 5,000 rupees, and you can just figure it out, man. And they'll say, well, what course is a good course? I'll say, I don't know, just search, go to the internet, search for courses. You must have seen these ads and stuff. There's a bunch of courses. The point is, I also have a course, but I don't want to pitch it right now. We're just talking. Okay. And they'll say, well, how does it work? I'll say, well, you just get a course, just watch through some videos, take the action, and you'll get the job done, man. It's very, very simple. If your budget is 30 grand, this is going to get the job done. And they're going to say, listen, man, I know I want something which is a little more engaged. I want, like, what can you do for me? This is what you're looking for. What can you do for me? Or they're going to say, no, this is what I don't want. I want something more engaged. So at which point you ask them, when you say more engaged, what do you mean? Okay. Let them say, by more engaged, I mean somebody who calls me every week. I can sit on a one-on-one. Perfect. Great. So now I'm talking about something upwards of 5 lakh rupees, something inside of 5 lakh rupee range, and upward of 5,000 rupees. Okay, now this is where my product line starts. Okay, this is literally the price of my product line. I've got an entry price for a community membership for 8,000 rupees. So your entry level product, let's say it's around 10,000 rupees or whatever. This is my entry price. Okay, I've got an intermediate product which could also be a decoy product. That means I charge some money for people to meet me, but they need to know that when they meet me, I'm going to be proposing them a solution which is going to be in the 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupee range minimum. Okay, so usually people pay to meet me for a personal consultation, and even after they paid for the consultation, before the meeting actually happens, I'll have my team call them and tell them that, hey man, what kind of price range are you looking for? What is your budget? And they'll say, well, what is your budget? Like, what is Rajat going to talk to me about? And they say, well, our programs are between 30,000 to 3 lakh rupee range. So at all points when people come to meet me, either they can buy an entry level product from me, or when they come to meet me, it's a decoy product, which means when I meet them, obviously I can't provide the whole entire solution to them in one meeting, not possible. But in the meeting, I'm going to provide them clarity and upsell them into a mid-range product, which could be a 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupee product, or a top-end product, which could be a 3 lakh, 5 lakh rupee product. Okay. So now we are talking. So now they say, okay, I'm looking for something in the 30,000 rupee range. So I'll say, hey, listen, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Don't spend 30 grand. Okay. Spend 15,000. Book a longer consultation with me. Right now, there's a free consultation. Book a longer consultation with me. Let me come prepared. We will sit for 2 hours. Or you can say we will sit for 1 hour every day for 3 separate days. Okay. And this 15,000 you just pay as a refundable deposit. I'm going to provide you a solid solution. If I'm able to provide you a solution, then you can pay the rest of the fees. We will go for it. If you don't like the solution, you can have the money back. Very simple. Okay. And they're going to say, well, what is going to be the price range of the ultimate solution? Well, I don't know. It's going to be custom. I need to sit with you for 2 hours, or I need to sit with you for 1 hour every day for 3 days. You can pay 15,000 as a deposit, and I'm going to work with you, and we're going to fix up something that you truly like. At that point, if you like the program, you like the product, you can pay the rest. And if you don't like the program or something, you can get 15 grand back. So what you're doing over here with this decoy product is you're testing them for payment capability. Everybody says their budget is 30 grand until and unless you ask for the money, honey. Once you ask for the money, you will know whether the budget is 30 grand or not. Or they will say, I know my budget is 30 grand, but I'm not willing to risk 15 grand right now. No problem. Then what you do is, why don't you get into my community? Okay, price is 8 grand. I'll give you 4 days money back guarantee, man. Test it out for 4 days. If you like it, just stay. If you don't like it, you can leave. Or then you can figure out what you want to do. But at least when you are in my community for 8 grand, at least you'll get to see the whole flavor. You'll get to hang out with a few people. By the way, the problem you're trying to solve, it's not a one-on-one problem. You are in a community of other people who are on the same journey. That is what solves the problem. These problems, they're not really solved one-on-one, because going to the doctor didn't solve the problem though, right? So it's not a one-on-one problem. You need to be in an environment where other people are on that supportive kind of journey. So you can get into my community and get started. Now we are talking. See, what has happened is that whatever their price negotiation, or maybe they didn't know what is the value of their problem. First, I've set an upper limit and lower limit. I've set an upper limit, outrageous cash value. They may not believe it. They'll probably laugh, which is fine. And a lower limit, they'll probably laugh, which is fine. And then we have pincered it all the way down to the 2 or 3 levels where we are going to do business. If you do it this way, you will have a very, very high closing rate, because by this time you will know if the prospect is serious or not. If the prospect says that, hey man, I'm not willing to spend, or I will think about it, over here, you've not presented your product, and you can get out of the call free, while the prospect feels they didn't get enough out of you. See, what happens is when you actually pitch your product, that curiosity factor the prospect has, suddenly their appetite is full. They get to eat something, and suddenly they feel full. Wow, I got a free slice of pizza. When you give them an actual product, when you give them an actual pitch, actual proposal, actual final price or something like that, they feel full. I came hungry, I got a free slice of pizza, I don't want more pizza. Just the free slice is enough. I'll think about buying the rest of the pizza, and the game is finished. Okay. But over here, if you ask them and push them for price, and you push them for mode of payment or something like that, and over here, if they say, I'm not willing to look at anything paid in right now, I was looking for some free help, free solution. At this point, you can give them free solution. Hey, why don't you go do some YouTubing? Why don't you go buy a book? Why don't you go just look around, join a community near your house? So you've not really given them a direct action, but you've told them where they can find the solution. Okay. I usually tell people, hey man, just do some YouTubing around it. You'll find the answer, which is actually the God honest truth, because 90% of the things I learned from YouTube. Except I spent 14 hours a day surfing YouTube. Okay. So by this time, if the prospect has entered these layers, then you know they are serious. Some kind of transaction is going to happen. Over here, you will get roughly about 40% closing rate. 40%, not 100%. Nobody closes 100% of prospects. You will get 30 to 40% closing rate. Now, note that this particular technique is meant for seasoned salespeople, which means you should have by now already made few sales especially on the internet if you're selling, because a lot of these information products can be sold amazingly on the internet through a Zoom call. So if you made a few sales already, let's say 2 to 5 sales on the internet, then you're seasoned. If you have these products, which means you have a tribe building challenge, 30,000 rupees. If you have a mentorship product, 2 lakh rupees. If you have a done for you service, 5 lakh rupees, whatever it is, then obviously you're a seasoned salesperson by now. At this level, you'll get 30 to 40% closing rates. I'm getting roughly 60 to 70% closing rates over here if I use the pincer technique for closing. Okay. A little bit of an advanced technique, but yeah, once you get in the game gets better and better, man. Okay. Please let me know in the comments column what you liked about this video and what are some of your questions. Please subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button so I can, you get the first call for the next deadly video that I release. All right. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, man. Bye bye.